Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to another video where we're going to be talking about some of the best young players in FIFA that you can buy in your career mode, and we're specifically looking at players that you can get while you're in League 2 in England, basically. So the sort of lowest tier that you can start on. Now, it can be quite difficult, and I will state before we go through this video and have a look at the players that every single career mode seems to work a little bit differently. Some players have release clauses in some career modes when they don't in others. Some players are happy to move straight away, sometimes they're not. So it's very much, I can't tell you exactly who you can buy and who you can't. You're going to have a look through this list and just basically see who you can get a hold of. This is a list of some of the highest potential players that you can get, and goalkeepers are not that easily found, but we do have a list of some here. And we're going to start things off at the top of the list here with Sonny Layton. As you can see, he's valued at £325,000, currently on £1,100 per week. He's 17 years old from AJ Auxerre. And at the moment on my game, as you can see, he's not willing to move because he's only just recently moved to the club. Now, that probably will stay the same for your game mode. So if you do want to get a hold of this guy, you're probably going to have to wait until January or the end of your first season. However, he is the highest potential player joint with Manuel Rafa, the second player down, with a potential of 82. So definitely worth getting a hold of if you can, maybe your first season in League 1. Next one down, as you can see, is Manuel Rafa. Now, this is a player I use myself in my career mode. I quite liked him. In my career mode, I was able to get him for a minimum release fee of £500,000. As you can see, on this version of the game, he does not have a release fee, but he does have a value of £250,000 and a wage of £880. As you can see, it says he's unwilling to relocate at this time, but I know from previous experience that you can buy him in the first season. I have brought him in my career mode. PJ Toby's, my friend, has brought him in a couple of career modes as well in the first season, so you can get a hold of him. And again, he has a potential of 82 there from Boca Juniors. Next one is Luca Plogman. I'm going to badly pronounce some of these names, I know I am. He is from Werder Bremen. Now, the way the game works, he's actually in the Werder Bremen 2 team, which on this game counts as a completely separate team. So that's going to be the best thing for you there. It means you're not buying him from the actual major Werder Bremen team, where he probably costs a lot more. He does have a value, as you can see there, of $200,000 and a weekly wage of $660. Again, he's only just recently joined the club, but I still think you'll be able to get him pretty soon. Definitely worth it. He starts off at 58, as you can see, and he does have a potential of 81. Now, the next one down is the one that is pretty new into the game. He's been put on with a recent update, and I think this could be a very good one, because as you can see, he is available for between 190 and 270,000. His name is Carlos Guerra. He's 200k value, 1.1 thousand wage, and he does have a potential of 80 there from Club Tijuana. So definitely worth a look. Again, you might not be able to buy him on yours, but I can buy him on my one. Like I said, every single time you start a new career mode, it does change, but definitely worth a look at him if you do have the money available. And you could probably get him for almost free if you've got a couple of dodgy players you want to get rid of as swap deals. You never know your luck on this game. Next is Matteo Vandoof. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Again, a player who's only just recently joined his club, so you probably won't get him in the first transfer window, but definitely will be available early on, maybe January or even at the end of your first season. Value of $250,000, the weekly wage of $1,500, and he is a potential of 80 as well. So next one is Cameron Gregory, should I say, not Cameron. Cameron Gregory from Shrewsbury. The cheapest player on our list at 110,000 with a weekly wage of 880. He's the lowest current rated at 54, so I wouldn't suggest you buy him in as your first choice goalkeeper unless you know you've got a pretty good defence in front of him, but he does have a potential eventually of 79, so he's not a bad player at all. Might be worth buying him in as your second goalkeeper, but if you are really struggling for money, you don't mind having a slightly weaker keeper in for the first season, then definitely worth a look. Again, from Shrewsbury, and I think he's pretty good. I think he's pretty good. The thing is with this game, you've got to use players to build them up. So if you do use him, if you do buy him and put him on the bench as your substitute keeper, he probably won't progress the level you hope he will do. But if you do use him quite a bit or even loan him out, he will progress quite nicely. So next we've got Eric Grundmann. He's from Hansa Rostock, 18 years old, £190,000, £660 in wages. As you can see, again, he's recently moved to Hansa, so you might need to wait until the first transfer window to bring him in. He does start at 58 and he has potential of 78. And still a pretty good player, I think. Again, he might be different than yours. You might be able to buy him earlier on. And one thing I have found as well, if you do put these players in your transfer hub straight away, And it says this: sometimes by the end of the window it might have changed, so definitely just keep checking back over and over again, and you never know, you might be able to get a hold of him. Right, next one. I was wrong. Cameron Gregory is not the lowest rated. Jake Turner's the lowest rated. He's 54 rated. Again, a nice cheap one, 105 to 130,000 pounds from Bolton Wanderers. 18 years of age, 110k value, but you may be able to get him for a low 105, or even if, like I said, if you've got a player you want to get rid of, you could probably trade him and get him almost free probably as well. So again, another good player. Would I suggest using him as your first choice? Probably not, but if you're confident enough in your defensive abilities, it probably won't be a problem, and you can get yourself a nice cheap goalkeeper who has a potential of 77. Next one is Mattvey Safin. I don't know if that's right or not. He is shown as unwilling to relocate, but again, that might be different on your game when you start it up. He's 18 years of old from FC Krasnodar. He is 190k value of a 1.5k wage. He does start off at 58, as you can see there, and he has a potential of 77, so definitely worth a look at if he is available. Next is Phillip Menzel. He is going to come from you. He's going to come to you from Wolfsburg. 240k, 1.9k weekly wage. Again, unwilling to relocate, might be different on your game. Worth a look. He has a potential of 77, so we're starting to go a little bit further down now with the potentials, but still a pretty good player. And lastly, but not least, is Noah Berchtold. Now, he is a 17-year-old, as you can see there, from FC Sion. He is 130k in value, 1,100 in wage. He's only just recently joined the club, so probably might need to wait until January again to get him. But he looks pretty good. He's pretty cheap, and he does have a potential of 77. So not a world beater. You might need to get a new goalkeeper by the time you hit the Premiership, but still, this player should be good enough to hold you all the way through until that level. And maybe even 77, the lower end of the Premiership, isn't bad either. But again, he starts off at 55, so it might be a bit difficult to really use again, unless you've got a pretty strong defence in front of him. Like I said, I in the past have signed Manuel Rafa in my previous career modes. He's been pretty good for us, and he has a potential of 82. So if you can get a hold of Rafa, I would suggest that one. But at the moment, I'm liking the look of Carlos Guerra. Like I said, potential of 80 from Club Tijuana, and a pretty decent value as well. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will be doing other videos in all the other positions just to fill up a whole playlist basically. I thought like it'd be better than what my previous video was, where we just dealt with everyone in general. I like the idea of doing it this way, and then we can sort of cover every angle, because there's certain players that you might be able to get that I couldn't get, and there's certain players that I can get that you might be able to get. So it's just a case of just giving you all of the options, and you guys can have a look. Like I said, I can't tell you exactly who you can buy, because every career mode for some reason is very slightly different. You might have release clauses where I've got none in this list at all. Like I said in the past, I've got Manuel Rafa for 500k in a minimum release for me, so it's definitely doable. Anyway guys, I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for a next part of this playlist. We'll be looking at left backs. Bye.